You might have heard the famous statement, eat to live, not live to eat. But in this age of hustle culture, it has become increasingly fitting to replace that statement with work to live, not live to work. While I do understand that we live in an economic climate where even the act of working to live is not entirely sufficient for some people to make enough money to live comfortably, especially in professions that have an excessive supply of both skilled and unskilled labor force in the market, the act of living to work or the excessive glamorization of hustle cultures is not only bad advice but also incredibly toxic. As per hustle culture, the more you can compromise other aspects of your life, such as sleeping, resting, recreation, social life, family time, relationships, personal discovery, and channel all that time towards your goals, career, or work, the more encouraged people are to think that they're on the right track towards success. This mindset couldn't be farther from the truth because hard work is only one variable that can determine whether or not a person can garner wealth, status, fame, recognition, respect, influence in society, which is what people are ultimately chasing by wanting to be successful in whichever field they are specializing in. First up, if hard work or hustling were enough to be successful, to accumulate wealth, or to improve one's quality of life, then nobody can deny that some of the most hardworking people in this world belong to the developing countries. Men, women, and even children who work in underground sweatshops around the world, or in the textile industries of Bangladesh and India, the mining industry in Africa, or even the farmers who are involved in subsistence or small-scale commercial farming in countries like Nepal and India, work day in and day out in the most extreme working and weather conditions for months, years, and at times even decades without progressing too far up in the socioeconomic hierarchy. Also, if I were to head out of my house for a brief walk, then I can see the streets filled with women and other people who are involved in the informal sector, trying to sell their goods along the side of the road, which surely won't be high enough to be their primary source of income. And yet, they work tediously in their fields to produce those supplies. So their hard work and time isn't really yielding them the output that they should have rightfully deserved had hard work been the only determinant of success, but that's not necessarily true. Now, you might be thinking that I'm comparing apples with oranges because working as a small-scale farmer or a sweat laborer in the developing world is nowhere close to working for yourself or being your own boss in the Silicon Valley. But the fundamental reason that determines success is the same across all sectors. The other variables that can either make or break a person's career involves things like whether or not they have the ability to face big risks and challenges, if they can diversify their current skill set, if their talent and experience is a good match with the work they're currently doing, if they can actually do better in some other field, and their inability or ability to transition to the right career. What is their credentials, qualifications, skills, experience, passion, and is it a right match with the work they're currently doing? Do they have the intellect or the leadership skills to manage other people or to execute their plans into action? Do they have a contingency plan and sufficient funds to tackle unforeseen risks and externalities that might arise in the future? How flexible or open-minded they are towards adaptation and learning, and so on and so forth. These determinants are equally applicable to both the founder of a tech company in the Silicon Valley who might be ambitious enough to reach for the unicorn milestone, or a farmer in Nepal, because regardless of how many hours both these individuals put into their work or how much they hustle, if they are not in the position to embody other determinants of success, then their efforts won't yield them their desired output. Also, I momentarily worked in an executive position in a venture capital company in my country before the pandemic happened, and based off of my experience in the boardroom meetings, I can assure you that the portfolio companies that were failing because of all the other reasons except for hard work. Hence, if anybody tells you that hustling or overworking is the way to go if you want to be successful in life, then that probably isn't the wisest path to tread, especially if it comes at the cost of foregoing or compromising on your own well-being, health, your loved ones, your family, your relationships in the process. Especially if you're working or hustling on the wrong thing. So that's all that I wanted to share today. I would love to know more about your insights, comments, and feedback on this topic. I honestly get blown away every time I read each one of your comments because they are so insightful, intellectually stimulating, and deep. So I would be very grateful and humbled and honored to read what you have to say. Thank you for supporting me so far, and you will see me again in my next video. Thank you for watching.